Hello everybody! Welcome to another gear video. I decided to make one again this year because my gear slightly changed. Although there are like thousands on YouTube, I still love to watch them and I think you will love them too. Because that's one of the questions I get asked the most. So let's start with the bag. And this is not a photography bag, it's a hiking backpack. It's from Fjärraven Singi 48. And so far I love this thing because it's super comfortable and I can fit all my camera gear, my drone and my camping gear in it for 1 or 2 evenings. Inside this backpack I put an ICU from F-Stop. I think it's the Small Pro. And that fits all my gear. And usually I just throw the body in there with a lens on. So let's start with the gear. Hi Odin. Yeah, he's pretty curious, so he wonders what we're doing here. So let's start with the photography gear. Inside the ICU there's everything I need. There's a wide angle, there's a Tele Lens, there are some primes, some filters, LED lights and some other filmmaking gear. But the main body is still the R5. I'm still super happy with it. It's been through a lot by now, but it never let me down. Yeah, I love the quality of the images, I love the quality of the videos, and it's still like a pretty good workhorse. I've put a small rig cage around it to mount everything I need for movies or to just have a better grip because it just fits much better in my quite big hands. And I can also carry it like this, and I can also put on a top handle which is in here. And yeah, since Tashi and I are both using the R5, we share this kit and I will show you my kit first. And the first lens I'm going to show you is my Tele Lens. It's the RF70-200 f2.8. It's a great lens. I've been owning this for quite a while now. Image quality is outstanding, image stabilizer is great, and it works for landscape shots but also for portraits. I love using it for landscape because you can shoot details and compress the whole scene, and sometimes it's really nice to see what you can find in distance. The f2.8 aperture is perfect for low light settings. Let's continue with my favorite prime lens. It's the 35 1.8 macro. I've been using this a lot for filming because it's so nice and lightweight and it has such a low profile. It's super small on the camera. And the 1.8 aperture gives you enough flexibility to shoot in low light. And especially the macro modus can be really nice to get super close to some subjects. It's a great lens to shoot photography stills as well because the quality is good and it's not like super expensive lens, so it's a nice addition to everyone's kit. I also got a new wide angle. It's the 60mm 2.8. It's almost like a pancake lens. Super small, quality is decent. It only costs like a few $100 I think. You can't expect too much from it, but as I'm shooting wide angle, especially 60mm so rarely, it's okay for me and I just throw it into my bag. Often I end up not using it, but if I use it, it's always a nice addition in your kit. The main lens is the 24-105, especially during summer when there is enough light. This lens is really a fantastic choice for having a lot of flexibility. I mean, the range from 24 to 105 is perfect to shoot wide angle and also kind of compressed teleshots. And I love using this for filming because you have so much flexibility, as I said. Quality is amazing. It's weather sealed and it's fairly lightweight if you compare it to the 24-70 2.8. One lens that I use frequently is the 50-1.2. It's an amazing lens for portraits and also for low light action. It's quite heavy and bulky, so it sometimes stays at home, especially when I go hiking. I don't see myself carrying a 50mm lens that weighs almost a kilo. It's great for portraits and great for close-up because it creates a super creamy bokeh and shots, especially product shots, look super nice shooting with this. that's all regarding my kit, so let's move to Tashis kit. And Tashis is mainly using the 24-70 2.8. It's a great lens. It's comparable to the 24-105, but you can see the size difference. There's also a weight difference, so this lens is much heavier. Of course it has 2.8 aperture, so that makes sense if your environment is quite dark and you don't have enough light to work with, but I prefer using primes in this occasion, so she gets to have this lens. And it's still a fantastic lens, covers a lot of focal range, and with the 2.8 aperture you're also able to shoot portraits. And last but not least, probably her favorite lens is the RF 100-400. We used to have the EF version, and that was like 1.2 kilos or something, and that big. So it's really nice to have the same focal length in such a small package. It's super lightweight. It probably weighs less than the 24-70. So it's actually a no-brainer to have it with you all the time in your backpack. With the 400mm focal range, you can get like super compressed shots of landscapes, and that's also one of my favorite lenses to use. And another gear that I use is, of course, drone. I currently have the DJI Mavic 3 Cine. It's a great upgrade from the Mavic 2, because it now gives you the ability to shoot with a second lens that is like 180mm. It's great fun shooting with the second camera, although the quality is not as good as the main camera. But it's a nice addition to this drone, and I love shooting with it because you can get like a completely different angle that you've never seen before. And yeah, I've got some ND filters with it, but that's mainly the package. I also got this fancy monitor. It's quite heavy, but it's super nice to have because you can see so much better than on your smartphone. And it's nice to have it separate, so I don't drain my battery from the smartphone. Right, so what else is in this bag? Also got my video light with me all the time, so that's really handy if the situation is too dark or you need to have some extra light, some contour light or something like this. Super nice to have with you. So I said, a top handle for filming, so it mounts directly on the small rig cage. It's nice to have because sometimes filming in this angle is much better than just because you can balance your camera much better than you can do when you're holding it like this. But often I just leave it in the bag because the camera gets a bit more bulkier, and while hiking this might be annoying. Some spare batteries, and then I have also a variable ND filter, the Peter McKinnon edition, Polar Pro, and also the Velium, which is like a filter stack system. You can stack different filters on top, so you have a ND filter, polarizer, and also Pro Mist filters. And this set is really nice, super small, super lightweight, and I prefer using it to the just screw-in filters because they always cause a big vignetting, and sometimes this just ruins the shot. So yeah, that's all regarding my gear. We are filming this video on another R5 with a 24-1.4 lens that I also have for like night photography and northern lights. And connected to the camera is an Atomos Shinobi monitor that I use for monitoring the footage sometimes. So that's it from today. I hope you enjoyed the short video about the gear. And if you have any questions, just drop them in the comments below, or feel free to reach out anytime and ask for advice or something. But this is my working gear, and I've been traveling with it for like the last year, and I don't have any major plans to change the gear now. So, see you. Hey. What's your favorite lens? 50?